While Frank Calabrese Jr. is moving up in his father's Chicago outfit crew, mob son Michael Francis begins his own career in New York's La Cosa Nostra.
One of my dad's soldiers called me and said, meet me at the JB Lounge, which was on Metropolitan Avenue in Brooklyn. We go see Tom DeBella. Tom was acting boss for Persico at the time, who had taken control of the family. And Tom says to me, I got a message from your father. He said, you want to become a member of our life. Is that true? And I remember saying, yeah, if that's what my dad wants, that's what I want. And he said, I didn't ask you that. I said, is this what you want? And I said, yes, it's what I want.
Michael.
He said, well, here's the deal. From now on, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're on call to serve this family. If your mother is sick and she's dying, and we call you to serve this family, you leave your mother's side and you come and serve us. From now on, we're number one in your life before anything and everything. I'm putting you with Andrew Russo. He's your captain. You do whatever Andrew tells you. I said, okay. Andrew looks at me, he says, you're gonna be busy from now on. He says, meet me tomorrow night on Carroll Street and wear a suit. That was it. When you're in your recruitment period, you're not really making money for them, you're just being around. And I used to sit around in a social club, again, listen, took everything in. I always had a nice car, so Tom DeBella and Andrew would always have me drive them. Except that I would never drive. I'd have to sit in the back and they would sit in the front. So I just listened and I heard so much conversation between the two of them. They did talk pretty openly in front of me. And I guess they trusted me at that point. That recruitment period was very valuable to me because I tried to absorb everything like a sponge and really learn what the life was about.
Michael Francis is now a Colombo family associate. His education begins and ends with one lesson: how to make money for the boss of the family.
As an associate, if you made a score, you had to make sure you sent something up to the boss, a couple $100 in an envelope. Most guys that are associates, not made members, they always have to kick up to their boss. If you get involved and you become an earner, somebody who can be trusted, you become a higher associate.
I had to be a good earner. I wanted to be the best possible mob guy I could be. I made a score at one point. Some guy came to me with a load of meat. If I remember, $6,000 or $7,000 worth of meat.
Let me show you.
So I said, Andrew, I got this load of meat. He says, make sure when you get the money, you turn it in. Great. So I bring it, I turn it in. It's like $7 grand. And he takes it, and after a day or so, he gives me back $600. I said, wait a second. I said, $7,000, I get $600 back? I said, well, I don't like the math here, you know? I saw my father the next time, and he said to me, what'd you turn it all in for? He said, rule of thumb, 25% goes to them. He said, you keep the rest. It's really on-the-job training. I mean, nobody prepares you for this stuff.
Francis soon found a much bigger way to earn: a gigantic scam in overseas shipping. For a cut of the take, a friend who worked for a shipping company sent Francis fake work orders to repair his containers. Francis didn't actually repair the containers, but billed the company anyway.
And they would cut me a check. We were doing $20,000, $30,000 a month. And all he did was submit a work order, and I submitted a bill. And that was the scam.
He became the biggest earner, not only in the Colombo family, but probably on an individual basis among all the made guys in the five families.
It was only a handful of us that were making real money.
He's so successful at earning that the highest honor in the mafia is within his grasp. He's on the verge of becoming a made man.
Even though I didn't know the time or the place or when the event would happen, I knew that things were starting to heat up because a couple of guys were all of a sudden being made. So I kind of knew my time was coming. One morning, it was early, and I get a call from Andrew, and he said, meet me on Carroll Street, such and such a time. He said, dress up. Happened to be Halloween night, and it was 1975, a night I obviously can't forget. We end up in Brooklyn at Anthony Colombo's catering hall. Then I started to realize this is it. You know, this is my time.
To become a made guy, you have to participate in a murder. You were 100% Italian, and you were sponsored by 2 official members. You qualified, and you had to go in and take this oath that you were never supposed to reveal the secrets of the organization.
You can refuse it all you want. If they want you to become a made guy, they're going to force you to become a made guy. It is a lifetime contract. Respect and honor is the whole life.
The only way out would be death.
was very dark. There was a couple of candles lit. I walk down the aisle and I stand in front of Tom DeBella. And this initiation starts. And it's very intense. And Tom looks at me and he says, "Are you ready?" And I says, "I am." And then we went through the ritual. Andrew had a little knife and he cuts my finger and some blood drops on the floor. And I remember him gripping my hand very firmly. And I remember looking down and seeing blood spots there. So this was a place I knew that had been used before. I took a picture of a saint, put it in my hands and lit it aflame. And then Tom started to say to me, "Tonight, Michael Francis, you're being born again." And I'll never forget those words. He said, "You're being born again into a new life, our life, La Cosa Nostra." "Do you swear to give your life to this, to a La Cosa Nostra?" I said, "Yes, I do." "If you violate what you know about this life, betray any of your brothers, you will die and burn in hell like this saint is burning in your hands." And he said, "You're a friend of ours." And he hugged me. Andrew hugs me. And then all the captains line up and they all give me a hug and welcome me, kiss on the cheek. As Tom said, from now on, wherever you go in the world, you'll have a brother there. Don't ever worry about your mother, your sister, your daughter. We're gonna protect them. And, you know, I got your back, you got mine. That was exhilarating for me to know that, okay, I made it, I'm here, and now it's up to me to really prove that I'm worthy of the life.